In the year 2000, 25 years ago, a fresher with a BTech degree could get a job in one of the 4 or 5 top IT companies in India for about 20 to 25,000 rupees per month. Some got more, some got less. 25 years later, they're still being paid more or less the same by these same IT giants. Back then, 20,000 rupees could have bought a lot of stuff. In fact, if you adjust for inflation, then 20,000 in 2000 is the same as about 90,000 rupees today. That means real income has dropped by a whopping 70%. 70%. Look at it from another angle so that the comparison sinks in a little better. If you're a new joinee in any of these IT firms and someone who is, let's say, 25 years your senior, a boss type, comes and tells you, "Arey, you're earning 28,000 rupees per month and you're still not happy. You know, when I started in this company, I just got 20,000 per month. 40% more, that's what you're getting." What they're not telling you is that in real inflation-adjusted terms, you're earning just 30% of what they got 25 years ago. Less than 1/3 in purchasing power. It is because India's IT sector has been one of our biggest white-collar employers. For nearly 3 decades now, it has been the gateway to prosperity for the upwardly mobile middle class in this country, which started emerging from the 90s. And now that door to affluence is being shut right on the faces of this middle class. But before I go forward a little further, I want you to quickly pause 5 seconds and type in a quick response to this question that you see on your screen. How did you feel when you got your first paycheck? It could be your salary, it could be something that you earned as a fee. Were you satisfied? More or less satisfied? Somewhat dissatisfied? Or very dissatisfied? Stick to just those words in the 4 options on the screen so that our data team can collect your responses and convert them into a poll result. And now, why do we want to know this? Because this helps us at the Quint to get a sense of your views. In that sense, it helps us crowdsource real information from the ground and get a sense of the real sentiment of our viewers. And that brings me to the second thing. This is important. This is an appeal to all of you. The reason why the Quint is able to focus on news and issues that matter to you is also because of you, especially those of you who subscribe to us. We all know newsrooms can only speak the truth on behalf of the people when they are independent. And running a newsroom independently costs a lot of money. And that is where you can contribute so that we can continue to bring you news and views that really matter to your lives. Scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now and choose one of the subscription plans available. Your help will keep us going. And we promise that we will use every paise to speak truth to power. Okay, back to our story, the point of focus here. Imagine what it was like for a fresh computer science graduate at the beginning of the millennium. Right? Again, as I said, 25 years ago. A 22, 23-year-old was getting paid 20 to 25,000 rupees per month. It was a very good pay, very good money back then. You could rent a decent place in an IT hub like Hyderabad or Bengaluru, buy clothes and shoes of the latest fashion. Remember that all the big global fashion brands were flooding into India from the late 1990s and they'd really picked up in the early 2000s. You could take cabs to work or even buy a car on EMI. You could regularly go out for meals at high-end restaurants and even take your friends out for a treat once in a while. If you came from a smaller town, you were able to buy air tickets for your parents to come and visit you and then show them around town. It is possible that you saved up and even bought a microwave oven for your mom, so that she didn't have to heat dinner on the gas stove every night. In short, a job in an IT major was your golden ticket to improving not just your lifestyle, but also that of your family back home. But it wasn't only about a good salary, an affluent lifestyle, or financial stability really. An IT job was also what a close friend had termed a mother-in-law job, the kind that a future mother-in-law approves of. That's because IT jobs not just paid very well, they also were very respectable. A techie was not only financially secure and successful, but was also seen as someone who was smart, had a high IQ. I mean, don't ask me why, but that's how it was. And to a large extent, it still is. Also, another important thing. Getting a job in a top IT firm often opened the door to going abroad, even moving to America later on. And that was often a dream of India's middle class. First, the Indian IT company you worked for sent you to the US and to a lesser extent to Europe for on-site projects, which meant that instead of handling the back office work sitting in Bengaluru or Hyderabad, you went to the actual offices of the client, the US company, which had outsourced its IT work to the Indian tech firm you worked for. If you proved your worth and were decent at networking, there was a chance that you would get hired by an American company to work with them in the US. Then an entire series of steps kicked off. First, an H-1B visa, your value in the marriage market just shot up. Even more, if you managed to get a green card, even those who had a short stint abroad ended up with a lot of savings, a lot of monetary savings. And they also sent money back home. And their parents and younger siblings, their living standards also went up and they became the neighbor's envy. Fast forward to now, 25,000 in hand in an IT hub like Hyderabad or Bengaluru is frankly barely enough to sustain a middle-class lifestyle for a single person living alone. And that's what most young employees in these IT firms are. Single, living alone, or sharing their house with colleagues. Take out rent, electricity, mobile bill, broadband bill, the cost of daily commute to work, basic meal costs, and there's very little left after that. And I'm not even counting other expenses that are part of a regular middle class lifestyle nowadays. Medical bills, a couple of subscriptions here and there, maybe Prime Video, Netflix, and maybe even ChatGPT Pro. Then comes expenses that we don't usually calculate as regular expenses. The average cost of using gadgets and appliances, for instance. A smartphone, laptop, things young people change every 3 years nowadays. If a phone and laptop together cost even 1 lakh rupees, most likely it's going to be higher. And you use them for, let's say, 3 years or 36 months, that works out to nearly 2,800 rupees a month. Add some basic appliances, a gas stove, small refrigerator, maybe a cheaper microwave oven. These will last for much longer, maybe 5 to 8 years. But again, the average cost per month will work out to be about 300 to 500 rupees. So your gadget and appliance bill per month, which you don't calculate, is not less than 3,000 bucks per month. Add that to your basic expenses. As I just said, just a basic, no-frills, middle-class lifestyle for a single young person working and living in an IT hub would eat up their entire take-home pay. Mind you, when we compare a 22-year-old today with a 22-year-old from the year 2000, living standards they're used to, the kind of lifestyle they grow up with in their parents' home is vastly different now. Air conditioners, washing machines, they were rare back then. Today, they're present in most middle-class homes. So this sharp drop in real income for freshers in IT firms is even more stark for a young person today. So it's clear that a regular IT job, unless you're an AI whiz kid, a regular IT job no longer puts you on the path to prosperity. There are various reasons for this. Far too many computer science degree holders of varying quality, a general global economic slowdown, and most importantly, artificial intelligence or AI eating up routine tech jobs everywhere. Do comment and let us know if you want to know more about the whys of this IT sector slowdown with more data and details. And we will definitely make a video on it if many of you are interested. Do like this video, share it with your friends, and most importantly, comment on what you want us to focus on in the series on the middle class, which is unfortunately now caught in the middle. But before I go, here's our appeal again. If you want more content like this that really matters to your life, do subscribe to the Quint. Scan the QR code on the screen, choose one of the subscription plans, and help us remain independent so that we can continue to speak truth to power on your behalf.